Welcome to another edition of Tuscaloosa Talks. I'm Mayor Walt Maddox, and I'm here with the best superintendent in the state of Alabama, probably best superintendent in the nation, quite frankly, Dr. Mike Daria. Mike, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being out here. It's a little chilly today, but we're here at Government Plaza, not because me and you talk out here normally at Government Plaza. It's because on April 29th, people are going to come out here. That's Friday, April 29th, pick up their packets to run the Mayor's Cup on April 30th. But before we talk about the Mayor's Cup and something that we're really proud of, I want to talk about PreK because since 2007, the Mayor's Cup has been about raising funds for the Tuscaloosa PreK initiative. As an educator, why is PreK important to our students?
Those early years of development and education are, I think, arguably the most important years for a child going into adulthood. And the stronger we are in early education, the greater the chances are for us to be highly successful in graduating our students and going out to be really successful post-graduation. Those years are so important for us.
And how about for a child that's academically at risk? And what we mean by saying academically at risk, and you correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm saying this in layman's terms, they come into kindergarten or they would come into a PreK class and they wouldn't necessarily have the literacy skills to be ready to learn.
You know, unfortunately, Mayor, we see that happen too often where a student is not ready for kindergarten. And that achievement gap sets itself solidly right there in kindergarten and gets nothing but larger every grade thereafter. So the earlier we can do well and educate, and PreK is an enormous step in that direction, the greater the chances are that we can close that achievement gap that exists so that all students, because for us, all means all. It doesn't mean some students or a lot of students. It means each and every child we serve. And this community has to have a premier school system that can guarantee that. And PreK is one big strategy that helps us do that.
Now, most people don't realize that PreK is not something that is funded by the state. School systems are generally, the predominance of their funding comes from the state of Alabama, but PreK is not fully funded by the state. In the city of Tuscaloosa, or in the Tuscaloosa City Schools, how is PreK funded? How many units are funded by the state? How many are you using through your federal sources? So we can, what I'm trying to do is explain why raising money from the community is important in helping us put teachers in the classroom.
There is an enormous return on investment for every dollar invested in PreK. Tuscaloosa has been a leader in this state for advancing PreK for a number of years. Our school system is fortunate at this point because we've got strong local funding and we've got funding from the Office of School Readiness that we have 38 classrooms in our community serving PreK. It is our guess that we're at about 72% universal PreK because of the number of teachers that we have serving our students in PreK. It is not entirely funded by the state. It does require local dollars to make sure we can keep, even those Office of School Readiness classrooms require additional local funding. And because of the work of you and the city council and our local support, we're able to offer those classrooms. But we've got 38 classrooms across all of across our elementary schools. Mayor, we don't have a wait list right now. And for us, that is the biggest sign of success. Years ago, when we started this, we had a wait list that we couldn't serve. And we are now at a point where we do not have a wait list. We are serving every child who needs PreK.
So every child that is signed up and needs PreK, we're reaching. We know, though, if you took the whole population of eligible, that 28% does not. They could either be in a daycare, a Head Start program, or something like that.
Yes, sir. Shelton State has increased the number of PreK classrooms they have. We have faith-based partners that also have PreK in there. So it is our speculation that with those partners also serving our community in PreK, we're closing in as a community to universal PreK.
That's fantastic. And a lot of that, in fact, all of it has to do with the leadership of our Board of Education, yourself, and so many others who have stepped out to make a difference on that. Before I want to come back to the Mayor's Cup, but I want to talk to you just about the school system in general. As the superintendent and leader of our school system, what are you most proud of right now of what we're doing? We always hear so much about what we're not accomplishing, but we're doing so much good. What are some of the things that you'd like the public to know about the things that you and your team are accomplishing?
We've got a Board of Education that is relentless in making sure all students are successful. This Board of Education, they don't blink an eye when it comes to innovation. They don't blink an eye when it comes to putting money where money is needed to fund programs that support our students. the greatest success that is going on, it's the people serving our young people, the educators of the Tuscaloosa City Schools. And when I say educators, Mayor, I'm talking about our bus drivers, our school secretaries, our child nutrition program, and then the classroom teachers. We can put as many programs as we want in place, but without high quality people teaching our students, we'll never move the needle of excellence for all students. And to answer your question, I would say that is the largest brag of this community. Is we've got these amazing educators who are serving our students in amazing ways. They do it with a lot of certainly content knowledge, but a lot of passion, a lot of love, and a lot of care. And that's what's needed for our young people today. We're putting programs and initiatives in place to support that work. Our reading before third grade, we started before there was a Literacy Act in Alabama. They're moving the needle there. And that's a combination of pre-K coming in, serving more students in pre-K, having a focus on early reading, which pre-K helps us support. 5 years ago, we had about 39% of our third graders reading proficiently. Move forward now, doing different assessments. Last year, we were at 75% of our students would move on to fourth grade as proficient readers. That's a significant increase.
So 39% to
75%. These are different assessments.
Certainly.
But it's the assessment we have from the state to as closely as we can measure proficiency. But that's because we've got social workers supporting students' social and emotional needs. We've got counselors doing the same work. And we have teachers who are just tireless in making sure our students are successful. And initiatives like that are done because of the people we have serving our students.
Now, tell the public a little bit about who Mike Daria is. How did Mike Daria end up as the superintendent of the Tuscaloosa City School?
You know, I'm not from Tuscaloosa originally. I came to school here at the University of Alabama from New Jersey. I was on my way to Florida. I thought I was on my way to Florida. And I graduated here. I started teaching in Greene County, went back to grad school, and got married, met my wife here, and looked at Tuscaloosa and said, why would we go anywhere else? It's an incredible community. It's a progressive community doing great things. And I joined the Tuscaloosa City Schools as a teacher and went and did assistant principal, director of HR, assistant superintendent.
I know a little bit about that HR
yes, sir,
position.
You do.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing community, and it's just so great to be part of. And what's awesome about it is there's still this really bright future ahead of us. And we've got the right people in place. We've got the right supports in place with our community to really meet our potential. Our students deserve it. And I'm just thrilled to be a small part of it.
Now, you and I both worked for Dr. Joyce Levy. So I hope somewhere, wherever Joyce is, she hears this. Do you ever get phone calls on your voicemail from her like at 2:30 in the morning?
Very many times, sir.
And I love Joyce to death, but she taught me a lot about leadership and about the work that you have to put in every single day to try to be the best you can be as a leader in an organization. And I know you and I both had that privilege of working under her.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Now let's get back to the Mayor's Cup. Are you still running?
I will be there. I'm running it, but I'm not making any guarantees for time.
Okay. All right. We won't, there's no betting allowed. We don't have sports betting in the state of Alabama, so you don't have to worry about that. So what I need everyone that is listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, I need you to go to www.tuscaloosamayorscup.com. It's Tuscaloosa Mayors with an S, cup.com, and register. Every dollar that goes into the Mayor's Cup goes directly into the classroom to support what Mike and his team at the Tuscaloosa City Schools are doing. We need children who are reading to learn and not learning to read by the time they get to fourth grade.
Yes, sir.
Let's help Mike. Let's help our outstanding teachers and support team at the Tuscaloosa City Schools. Let's participate in the Mayor's Cup. Again, for more information, you can call Tuscaloosa 311 or go to TuscaloosaMayorsCup.com. I can't wait to see you on April 30th out here running the streets of Tuscaloosa to raise money for our children, for our next generation. Have a great day.